Hello, my name is Grant. I build residential houses, and I thought it'd be cool to share the process. I am still learning, but I do have knowledge to share, and what better way to learn than to teach? I'm gonna share with y'all what I know, what I've learned so far over the last couple years, and hopefully make a fun channel out of this. I'm gonna share with you guys 5 foundational tips or rules that I was taught really early on that I use all the time just to smooth the building process. The first rule I always follow is to plan ruthlessly before you begin construction. You wanna make sure before you put a shovel in the dirt, you have all your permits in order, your plans are exact, your survey's done. You need to make sure your subcontractors that you use are aware of the project. It's gonna be kind of hard to schedule stuff out that far, but as long as they're aware of a general time frame, they can kind of have you on their radar. Doing all this just prevents disaster down the road when you go to sell it and you've screwed up lot lines or setbacks. All right, so the second most important point is to lock in your trades early. It's extremely important to have your subs aware of a general time frame early on of when they need to arrive. If there's any sort of change in the plans, they need to know right away. You don't want to have a plumber show up on site and tell them that you moved a bathroom, because now their whole plan's gone. They might not have the material, now you're delayed, or they could just leave the job. On top of that, you need to always make sure you have a backup guy. For some reason, the plumbing guys or HVAC guys can't show up, there's a disaster. You need to have guys that can come in relatively quickly to finish the job, so that way you stay with that time frame as best as you can. It was the funniest shit. It was like thou, God, love, all this shit on there. Rule number 3 is to plan your material delivery. You don't want to order all your lumber when you haven't even put in your foundations yet. It just sits out in the elements, it gets rained on, it can get stolen. Sometimes I've actually seen lumber grow legs and walk away. So you want to make sure that it's here when it's needed and it's not going to be all over your job site. So for example, we had all this drywall delivered as soon as our HVAC guys finished. If we had all this here when they were working and it's here, it's all over the house, it'd be in their way, and some of it would probably get damaged when they're over here, which is better for the job site to have it where it needs to be at the right time for our drywall guys to show up in a couple days to finish the drywall. It's important to do that just so you restart. Okay, so rule number 4 is to come through your property semi-frequently. Have a little notebook, come through and write down any problems you see, the locations of certain mechanicals that could be important later. You need to find these problems, if there are any, before they become serious. For example, this wall was framed out as 2x4 and it was supposed to be a 2x6 wall. So the plumbers caught it and they go, hey, you know, we gotta run this pipe, there's no room in this 2x4 wall. And we told them, just do what you can do and we'll frame it out the way it needs to be. But that's just one of those small things that was a mistake. And it was actually a mistake on the plan. So you just gotta be fluid and make changes as you go sometimes. Also, a lot of the tradesmen will make little notes themselves. You know, they said need 2x6 wall here, the way the doors are gonna hinge here. It's all over the place. It's nice to see all that stuff and you can kind of get their train of thought, and it's cool to see all that so you can actually tell their plan of action. So the last thing is to develop a 3-step ahead mindset. By doing that, everyone on the job is gonna know what the next 3 steps are at all times. They can plan for it, you can plan for it, and it just prevents downtime in general. Like I know right now, we're gonna be drywalling in a couple days. After that, I have trim guys coming, I have painters coming, and even further, I have flooring guys coming and all the finishing stuff. At least 3 steps ahead, and let everyone know what the plan is. That way they can respect your timeline and you can respect theirs.
It's kind of like
So the second rule, I made a Google document for the video. All right. If he wasn't a good man, I'd be mad at him. Hello, my name is Grant.